Woof woof!
Hey guys, it's me, Marcus, aka the Maddogg. It's a random Friday of the month, so you know that can mean only one thing. Yes, it is time for your, I've genuinely forgotten what month it is, August 2021 edition of the MDC. And I'd like to thank everybody who's watching, everybody who might be watching. Hope you're all having a great week, great month, great Friday, and I hope you have a great time with us as well. So I'm going to introduce the two handsome men that are joining me this month. So firstly, as all, I never get that right. I never get myself. As always, I'm joined by my spectacular co-host, my handsome husband. Yeah, we'll just. I did it wrong again. Yeah, it's none other than Mr. Comic Down himself. Thank you for joining me.
How's it going?
Yeah, great. Thanks, man. How about you?
Yeah, all good. All good.
Good. And we are joined by a very special guest. This guy is one of the most hardworking YouTubers that, I've seen in a good long while. He is the owner the correct word, and creator of the Beyond the Page series, which is a great title.
Thank you.
Very much like that one. Hopefully he's got a great future ahead of him as well, because he's just finished university, just passed his driving test, and just got a new job. And then, he has to come and sit and talk to us. So unfortunately, it seems like the weeks hit a peak earlier on than this. But it's
very busy few weeks, so it's nice to kind of unwind a bit, and relax. I was saying to Adam earlier, I've been looking forward to this all week, so it's nice to, sit and chill for a bit.
I was literally just about to say, so I have to finish that sentence. But it's not other than Mr. Cade Comics. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. How are you doing?
It's Friday. That's the main thing into this point.
Yep.
But yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Cade, for people who maybe, haven't been introduced to you just yet. What got you into YouTube? What you're reading at the moment?
Of course. So I have been doing YouTube now. I've been doing comic content on YouTube since, I don't even know, it was 2020. It was first lockdown. Zavi had a sale that was $20 for however much. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I enjoyed Scott Snyder's New 52. I know it's your jam.
Yeah, definitely my jam.
And so that was kind of what got me into comics when I was, I'm going to show my age and say when I was 12 when that came out, New 52.
That makes me feel really old. Thank you.
So,
people would probably think I was an embryo back then. Like everybody thinks I'm 16. So,
and I read that. I remember really loving that. I remember Death of the Family and Endgame being my absolute favorite thing of all time that I'd read. And then when Zavi had that sale on, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll get a couple Eagle Moss books. And then since that, it's just taken on a life of its own. Really, my collection and my problem with collecting comics.
I'm glad you agree it's a problem, and we all share. This is not your intervention. Don't worry. We're probably going to make it worse.
That's next month.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say hi to a few people in the chat. We've had some people who've been waiting for a while. We've got Stephen the Shy Warrior, who has been a massive supporter. He's always been there for me, and he's excited to see Cade here as well. I'm sure he's excited to see Adam here as well, because he was there for the last one as well. We've got Blue Sonic saying Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good Friday as well. We've got my good friend Barath saying Happy Friday, chaps. We hope you enjoyed the show. We've got Cade. Whoa, Inception. It's like when that Marcus Townsend guy trolls my comments. But yeah, we're hoping for a great one as well. We've got the Comics Cavern, and we hope the hype pays off for you. I'm stuttering like anything so far today. This is what is a little secret. I don't know if too many people know this, but the reason why my videos are so heavily edited is because I get such a bad stutter when I'm talking. So I just can't be bothered to try and do a full line. So I'll just Frankenstein it together with a load of different stuff. So
I get that.
I'm glad it's not just me. I've stopped filming videos like that. I've had to have a break because it got that stressful. Trying to construct a real sentence using editing is exhausting.
I kind of like the editing part of it, though, because obviously I don't like the fact that I can't really talk properly. So to have a way to rectify that, it's almost like the cure for a problem that I've always had. I wish that was a thing in real life, that I could edit my own sentences when I'm talking to my mom or something.
Yeah.
Don't know if it'd really come in handy, but we've got elder law student of law.
Oh.
I could probably do with someone in a law department for if I get this merchandise up and running in case like I stumble on copyright or something, because I do not understand what's happening with copyright. We've got Comics vs. the World, who I am going to join in with his Walking Dead Wednesday starting next week, because I am reading it at the moment in preparation for that Halloween video. I'm reading 2 books at the moment, which, Adam, you know I can't do that well, but I'm managing.
I don't know how anyone just reads one book. Like I didn't
by being loyal.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't read more than one thing. I'm currently reading Irredeemable, and like the amount of times I've wanted to pick up like Tom King's Vision or something, but I'm like, no, I need to finish Irredeemable first.
The problem is if I read more than one book, I end up favoring one like too much, and then I don't read the other book, so there's no point. So it's like I'm reading at the minute. I'm reading Watchmen because it's supposed to be August. I haven't really got off on a good foot doing Brian K. Vaughan's Why the Last Man, but you know, I could have called it Vaughan-gust. Like fuck's sake, I failed. But yeah, so I'm reading them 2 at the moment. I feel like they're 2 completely separate books, though. It's okay at the minute because Watchmen's so fucking dense. Like, oh my god, I forgot just how much book is in that book. Like, there's books within the book that tell another story.
Yeah,
like
I've never read it.
What?
I've never read it, but maybe my next comic haul. Yeah,
yeah. No, I think it's one of those that everybody should try. I get why some people don't like it though on this reread. I'm like, I sort of understand it now. We've got Marvel Bab in the chat. Marvel Bab in the chat. Another UK guy. It's good to see you here as well. We've got our good friend Joachim's Comic Centre saying, nice that you take people with you, rising them up with your own wave, Marcus. Hope you link to Cade's channel. Now, there's a link for Adam's channel, Cade's channel, and cheeky plug, there's also a link for Organic Price Books. Use code WOOFWOOF for $2 off your order. It does greatly help the channel. But yeah, Cade's someone that we've been wanting to have on for a while. And, you know, Adam's very much the only reason that the MDC happens, because he knows how to make me get my shit together. And because months just fly by, and he's just like, are we doing another MDC? Like, it's nearly August. It's nearly... So, you know, as soon as we finished MDC 7, you know, that was me and Adam getting back into streaming because we hadn't done one for a while. We were just like, we need to bring Cade on. He's just such a good dude. He's always supported the community and our channels, and I just love the videos that he brings out. I haven't had a chance to watch your whole just yet, but did see you got Why the Last Man in, so I'm proud of you. And Scott Pilgrim.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not a manga guy.
Black and white edition.
Yeah. Well,
is Scott Pilgrim a manga though?
£12. So.
Oh shit! I can't.
Really,
that's a bargain.
I know.
Absolute bargain.
I saw it on Depop, £12, and I was like, yep. But black and white, like I don't mind.
It's the OG. It only existed as black and white for like ever. So I mean, you can't go wrong with it. It's the OG format. It's fine.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me on. I've been looking forward to it all week. Like I said, it's live streams and shows that I've been watching since you started doing them. You know, I've always really enjoyed it, and talking to everyone in the chat. So I'm just so kind of happy to be on here. So thank you for having me.
Hey, it's an honor to have you on here. Like, you know, the MDC was just my way of getting to talk to people. And like I said, we've been speaking for near enough pretty much since both our channels started. So if anything, it's long overdue. So I should, instead of you thanking me, I should actually be apologizing, because we should have got you on here a long time ago. And the thing is, like, I don't want to sound egotistical or anything like that, and I hope this isn't the way that it comes across, but you're one of the only channels that scares me in a weird way, because every video that you bring out, there's just, you can tell there's a lot of passion and work that's gone into it.
Oh, thank you.
Like,
thank you.
These Beyond the Pages, like, I don't know how you get them out so quickly. I'm taking about 3 months to do one top 5 notable works, and you're like, yeah, I've done 18 Beyond the Pages this week.
Honestly, the Jason Aaron one I've just released, I did that all in about a day. So I started my research at 10 a.m. I'd recorded it by about lunchtime, and then edited from about 2 p.m. until 1 a.m.
How?
And was just like, No sleep. That's
You're still in uni crunch mode, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've still got
maybe,
that.
I think it's just because I never had a uni crunch mode. So
Oh,
like, because I did
okay.
film, so like it's kind of more relaxed. It's kind of like, oh, we'll do a film, but like, you know, it's only 2 or 3 days you're actually on set shooting for. You know, I didn't have any exams, so maybe that's what I'm making up for.
What did you have instead then? Was it like a final project? Because I did,
Yeah.
like, it's English and creative writing, so I had to do an exam and a project, so I didn't really avoid either.
So mine was all coursework. So I did a dissertation, and that was like I think 30% of my grade. And then I did 2 final films pretty much. So I did my main kind of grad film, and then I did another grad film as well, and that was more like 70% of my grade. But
Yeah.
I'm just glad that's all over and done with now, to be honest with you. Like the stress that brings and everything. You know, I'm just so happy that I can now focus on my YouTube with it, because I was trying to do that and I was trying to do my YouTube at the same time. I had this Eagle Moss unboxing that I filmed, and then I went and did my grad film, and I had the Eagle Moss unboxing filmed on my computer for almost 2 weeks, and I was like, I really need to edit this and get it up, because, you know, it's not sponsored, but they've sent me this package to do. So
yeah. That's pretty decent though that they sent it you.
Yeah, they're really lovely guys over there, actually. So yeah, I'd recommend them.
Are you sure you're not sponsored by them now? Sorry, Adam, I didn't quite catch that.
I'm just going to say I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I've seen what happens to people when they buy one Eagle Moss book and they're like, yeah, these are quite nice.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, they're in a house that is it's an Eagle Moss house. So
yeah. To be honest, it was like I started with Hush, because that's part 1 and 2, Hush, and then part 3 is Last Son of Krypton, and then it goes like Tower of Babel and stuff after that. So it's like I'm reading all these stories that I never would have read otherwise, but I really want to get them in the hardcover of their own. You know, like I really enjoyed Tower of Babel, and I want to have the hardcover of that. So I think maybe I might upgrade. I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, that bugged the shit out of me that I could never have it in alphabetical order. Like Batman Hush next to Superman Last Son of Krypton. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
but it has to, because they're numbered. It's like, I can't remember which movie company it was, but it was I think it might be in Sony Pictures. Whoever did Boys in the Hood, and I bought Boys in the Hood on Blu-ray, and it's got a number 9 on it, but then like number 8 is like Zulu or something that I don't want. So right. I've just got like Disney does it as well. They put the number on the side, and I'm like, but I don't want like something from. Yeah, I just want to buy what I want to buy. So
to be honest with you, I've had a couple of them. Like, there's a couple ones that's like I bought this to fill in my collection and fill the spine up, but then it's been like, what was it? I read like Public Enemies, I think, and it was one that featured Bizarro so much, and I just hated it. I'll be honest with you, I did not like it at all.
The Superman Batman series by Jeff Loeb.
Yeah.
That was my first comic. You just broke my...
No, not Public Enemies in general. No. I'm not saying not Public Enemies in general, but just that one volume that was Bizarro and everything. I just hated Bizarro.
Like, as a character in general, or in that story arc?
The way he speaks, the story arc, everything about it. And there was I don't know if it is Public Enemies. I might be getting it wrong, but it's Bizarro, and then the Batman version of Bizarro as well.
Oh, Bat-Zorro was something like that.
Yeah, Bat-Zorro, and it's the one where Batman ends up in an alternate reality where Batman and Superman are women as well, and I don't know. It was really like confusing, and Batmite's in it, and he's like the main guy throughout it, and it's just like I didn't know. No.
Yeah, even I can't remember that one that well.
Yeah. No, genuinely, I was just like, no, just give me Batman Hush.
We've got Farhan in the chat saying it's 1:40 a.m. here in Malaysia as well. I think you joined the last one as well, and I'm still just impressed that anybody from Malaysia knows that like Stoke exists. Like that just blows my mind. We've
Farhan's everywhere. He's lit. I don't think he sleeps. He just watches YouTube streams.
To be fair play.
He's a great guy as well. He's got some great recommendations. How's it going, Farhan?
We've also got Spoonful of Brody in the chat saying woof woof. We hope you enjoyed the stream. Exactly the main question. What's everyone drinking?
I have no idea. I literally just opened it. It's called Equinox Silhouette.
It's a fancy looking can.
It does look good.
You say it's fancy. It's just a sticker on a black can, but I get like this beer subscription where they just send you like loads of random different beers every month. So I never know what I'm drinking. So,
but are they numbered though?
They're not, and they don't have matching spines either. So yeah,
I'd wait for the reprint then.
Yeah, wait for the reprint of the cans.
What are you drinking, Cade? That looks very sophisticated.
It's not sophisticated at all. It's Samuel Joe's bourbon, and that is because I've always drank beer and I wanted to try some bourbon. I've just had this for a while. I was saying to you earlier I was going to go buy some beers for this, and Adam was like, "Nah, you have the bourbon." So I'm like,
Hey, I didn't tell you to have the bourbon.
No, you didn't. But now I can. Now, if I say throughout the stream, "Oh, I really fancy some beer," I can make you feel bad. So
okay, I already feel bad.
No, I'm joking, mate.
The stream isn't that bad already that you feel bad, is it? I'm drinking some water from my tap, but I put it in a bottle. Yeah, I've got dry. I didn't realize this, but I planned this, and then I've got dry somewhere shortly after. So
yeah,
as much as I love getting drunk with you guys on the stream, I like having a driving license, and also have to promote drink responsibly. No,
exactly.
But yeah, and as well, I think you were in the chat for the MDC 5 that we did with Scott and Phil, but I started drinking way too early for that one. And the thing is, I want to be able to remember these because I can't watch my own videos back. So I want to be able to remember it. I'll probably drink a shit ton the next one just to celebrate. But yeah, H2O for me today. And I've got to mints. We've also got YZ250 saying, "What's up, Mad Dog? I got Absolute Swamp Thing and I'm about to get Absolute Preacher next week. I'm so excited." Adam finally got his Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 2. Like, this was I remember you messaging me when that happened.
Yeah, I was so scared I wasn't going to get it. Like, that took some doing. I think it's widely available now, annoyingly. Like, last time I looked, it was on Forbidden Planet. So anyone who did miss out on the whole Amazon deal, I think you could, at least like a week or two ago, you could get it on Forbidden Planet for like 55 quid, I think it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I got it, I just woke up randomly in the night one night and was on my phone, and I thought I'd check, see if it was there. And it was for like 5 minutes. I bought it and then it disappeared. So I didn't know if I would ever get it. And I did. So I was panicking though. So
I can imagine you cold sweat, jolting up out of bed.
Yeah.
Absolute something.
That woke me up. Yeah.
Can you do that for Colossal Conan next time? Just if lightning strikes twice.
I'll try.
The Absolute Preacher there. That looks so great. That's the collection I would love to have, the Absolute Preachers.
They are like some of my most prized. They look like Bibles.
Yeah,
like, honestly,
I've not read it yet. I don't want to read Preacher because I know as soon as I do, if I like it, I'm on the hunt for those. I don't need to do that to myself. Like,
yeah.
Do you want my paperbacks cheap? Because I'm going through a clean out and I'm like, you know what? I had 2 copies of Preacher. I've got my Absolutes and my paperbacks that I originally bought because I was like, it's the 9 volumes, not the 6. But I was like, I'm going to keep a second set of Preacher in case I ever lend it to someone. And then I realized I had no friends, let alone friends in person who like comics. So I don't know what the plan was with them. So I'm taking Joachim's advice and finally realizing what I don't actually need in my collection. And I don't need 2 lots of Preacher. I've got my Absolute. So if you want them, I'll send them your way.
No, because I know I won't keep them.
Can't get rid of them.
I'll like it because I know I like it. And I'll end up hunting those Absolutes.
Yeah,
I know what I'm like. I can't do that to myself.
No, I remember your room tour, Marcus, and it was just like this Preacher, and then I was like, I can't believe Marcus only got the trades, and then you pan, you're like, no, I've got the Absolutes as well. I was like, oh, of course you have.
Yeah, like I'm double dipping on so much at the minute that I'm just clearing out. Like Preacher, I've double dipped on. Why the Last Man is a recent double dip. I got the Absolutes, but I'm planning on getting rid of my hardcovers. But like The Walking Dead, I I've got the hardcovers. What I don't need. Some of them are signed by Charlie Adlard, so I'll keep them copies.
Nice.
But I don't need they take up near enough half of an entire shelf. Don't need that. I need the space. And everybody's always heckling me for stuff being on my floor, so I can't be dealing with that anymore. But yeah, you reviewed all the Preacher recently, didn't you, Cade?
Yes, I did. So it was so I'd done a couple reviews before for stuff like Gotham After Midnight and Craven's Last Hunt, which our Craven Last Hunt's videos came out literally a couple days apart. That was so funny. But then I wanted to move on to doing more like reviewing series in parts. Yeah. So I did Preacher was the first one I did. Yeah, I've got the 6 trades. So I reviewed book 1, book 2, and then so on. And that was like 6 weeks worth of stuff. I'm currently doing Invincible, so the 3 compendiums. But Preacher, man, like I watched the show first, much like Invincible. I watched the show first, and then I was like,
spoiler free for Adam.
Yes, yeah. I was like, I watched the show, and then I was like, go read the books, and the books just blew me away. Like Garth Ennis is writing, Steve Dillon's art. I loved Steve Dillon's art. I know some people are a bit iffy about it, but I loved his art. And then I read Welcome Back Frank as well, the Punisher that they did, and his art in that I really enjoyed.
The rest of that series is really good as well. It never gets past the peak of Welcome Back Frank, but just because something peaks early doesn't mean the rest of it's bad. Like especially if I feel like with the Punisher, he's a character kind of like Deadpool. I really have to be in the mood to read a Punisher book, but when I'm in that mood, it's an itch that's very easy to scratch. And that Garth Ennis Marvel Knight series, I did a review of it, and it's probably my favorite omnibus that I've read so far this year. So I definitely recommend hunting down the rest of that. Are you a Punisher fan, Adam?
I mean, I've never actually read anything solo Punisher. Like, I've not read any of his like omnis or books, but I've read things that he's popped up in. One of my favorites was during the Mark Waid run of Daredevil, where it was the crossover they did with Punisher and Avenging Spider-Man. That was cool.
Just can you say his name right, dynamic.
Who? What?
You know who? What's his middle name? Bro, Mark fucking Waid.
Mark fucking Waid.
Mark fucking Waid.
Mark fucking Waid. Okay, sorry. Like I was like, wait, Spider-Man? Like
Daredevil.
Like, what's his middle name? Frank something Castle. What was his middle name? Sorry. Complete blank.
No, it's cool. SCC's a huge Punisher fan.
Yeah, I've spoken to SCC a bit about that.
Although he's no Watchmen fan, apparently.
Oh, the film or the book, though, SCC?
To be fair, that's... Sorry, mate.
No, go on, Marcus.
No, mine was just going to be... To be fair, though, they're kind of the same story, so...
Okay,
it's very good translation, I think.
The film to me, and this is probably because I'm a pretentious film student that's analysing everything. But no, the film to me, I think I just didn't like Zack Snyder's vision of Watchmen. But I've heard the show's really good, the TV show. I've heard that a lot of people quite like that. So maybe I have to check that out.
Yeah.
Are we going to have to apologise again because we've said something about Zack Snyder that isn't universal praise?
Oh, sorry guys. It's MDC 8 I first appear on and last.
No, this is the end of the MDC. We can't do another now. No way.
Well, we'll do more. Just no one will watch it. It'll just be us three talking into a dark room.
Yeah, just like, please, Zach, please forgive. No way. The film, I remember, it's a good translation of the story, but it's still not great. Like, it's one of them. I think we might have had this debate somewhere else, but should an adaptation cover the whole story, or should it try to change stuff? Because you've got examples like that where it's stuck so close to the story and the comic itself, like even the paneling, that I'm just like, well, I might as well read the book. Like, you know, why get Roller Cola when Coca-Cola's available anyway? That kind of thing. But then you get other stories that just completely change the narrative to the point where it doesn't even feel like an adaptation, and I don't really know where I settled down on that.
So interestingly enough, I watched Uncanny Omar. I watched his complete reading order of Marvel recently. It's like a year old, but I watched it today, and he was talking a little bit in that about the Age of Ultron books. and he was saying like the film was better than the book because you know it kind of was completely different.
Yeah. By the way, that's a discount code for Amazon. I don't like doing scheduled giveaways. I'd rather reward people who are actually supporting the channel, because I don't know if you guys remember, but when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I did a giveaway. It was a nightmare, honestly. Like, it was when everything was going wrong, so it took me about 3 months to get some of the books out. And Tim in America, I ended up just giving him like $100 in organic price books gift code, because I was like, the cost of sending the book to him was about $100, like without any protection. I was like, I don't want you to lose out on the book, so you just want $100 and then you can get yourself whatever you want. And it's like, yeah, cool. He was really cool about it. But yeah, I did a video. I was like, this is what the giveaway is going to be. In that video, I looked at my analytics and it's like, this video gained you 20 subscribers. The day after the giveaway, I lost about 20 subscribers. So I don't announce when I'm doing them. I'd rather just reward people who, you know, are watching the videos and who are having a good MDC. So there's a discount code for Amazon. It's nothing too much. I've got a couple, so, you know, maybe watch the full thing. So yeah, let me know if somebody claims it though. But yeah, I agree with Stephen on this. Skip the boring pirate part. I've read that once, and I don't read the like book excerpts either. I don't know if it's just me and Stephen.
I do. I have to. I don't feel like I've read it if I haven't. But I mean, I haven't read Watchmen in a while. I think next time I do, it'll be interesting to see if I skip it now that I know other people do and that I can. Like, is that all right? Like,
you're allowed to
more. He'll send the snake gods to get me or something. Like, yeah.
To be fair, if he does, can you tell him come for an interview?
Tell him to be on one of Marcus's shows.
Yeah, like just don't let your death be in vain. Can you imagine? Like the thing is, like, I was talking to Omar the other week after we did that like spontaneous DC stream, and honestly, when he said that was spontaneous, it was spontaneous. Like, he was literally like, "What are you doing in 10 minutes?"
Yeah. I was watching. What video was it you uploaded that night? I was watching your video and then stopped watching it, and it was like Whale Watch. Yeah, and then it was like, "Oh, you've been live streaming for like half an hour or whatever," and I was like, "Oh,
bro." I think even half an hour into it, I was like, "Oh shit, I'm on a stream." It did click in, but because obviously he interviewed Todd McFarlane recently. Did anybody else just?
Yeah,
that's the Todd McFarlane horn.
Yeah, no, that's the sensor that we've got. Like, for when I swear, it's just really delayed.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said to him, like, you've interviewed Todd McFarlane, like, no, but I don't know of any other like comic YouTubers that have done that. Like, you're the first to do it. Like, how was that feeling? It's like, it still hasn't really sunk in. And I was like, I genuinely get the feeling that'd be me if I got Alan Moore on here. Like, I don't think it's likely to happen, but with me being UK and him being UK and us both being a little bit crazy, I think he'd respect that. I'd be terrified. I'd be shit scared of that.
I think if you did though, you could get like other creators on, and I mean, one that you have to get is, let's have a think, Mark Wade, and you just talk to him. You're like, how you doing, Mark fucking Wade? And he's like, yeah, who are you? And just like
one day time he's coming on the stream,
you're just swearing at him the entire time, and he's like, oh.
I'd love to have Jim Lee on.
Jim Lee, oh yes, and is it Jeff Johns as well that you do drink for?
Yeah, could you imagine?
Oh my god, how drunk would we get if it was Jeff Johns? Like,
I'd get drunk on the water I'm drinking. It'd be that bad.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Like, the thing is as well, I remember when I went to comic convention when I was like 16, just before the Walking Dead TV show was coming out, and I met Charlie Adlard. I showed the sketch I got at Tyrese. And I waited all day to get that sketch. But now that I'm older, I'd love to speak to him again and be like, do you remember when I creeped you the fuck out? Because I was asking you, like, really... Like, I just kept saying to him, I was like, what does Robert Kirkman eat? What do you eat when you talk to him? Like, that was so weird. But, no, honestly, it's because I was so nervous. And Like, the thing is, I could meet a Kardashian and not give a shit, but put me in front of a creator I really like, and I'm like, do you tie your left shoe first or your right shoe? And I just don't know what to talk about, because when you're getting a sketch off somebody, like, he was so nice and polite. Him and Sean Phillips were two of the most polite people. They could sense I was nervous. And they were just really nice, and they were talking to me, and like, you know, they were the one under pressure. They were doing a sketch, like they were doing the job, and I'm there like this 16-year-old. Had about this. I think this is when I started growing this beard as well. They were just the nicest people ever. But it'd be nice to talk to them now. That I think I could probably be like, do you remember when you were at Birmingham 10 years ago, and there was this kid who looked like he was about to cry the entire time, and his dad had to keep telling him to calm down? Yeah, it's me. Do you know what I mean? That'd be fun.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
The thing is, Adam can tell when I'm proper in Maddogg mode, because I message him really dumb shit. And it's quite fun. And you're probably going to get the brunt of it now, Cade, as well, because what was it that I messaged you the other day? I was like, yo, should I just message Ross Ritchie on Instagram and tell him your idea?
You said in one of your videos, or was it one of your streams, you were saying like, you've got the Power Rangers idea, and then you were like, Cade, Ross Ritchie's followed you, get me in there.
Yeah, get me in there. I wasn't joking. I was like, he might check the DM just on the Slim Chat's, just like, look, I know this sounds dumb, but if there's one person who can pull this off, it's going to be Marcus. He's got an idea for a Gold Ranger series. Like, how many times have I messaged you that, Adam? I was like, yo, should I do this? Should I message this? Should I message this creator? Like,
I think we should, like, we need to start some kind of like hashtag thing. I don't know how the internet works because I'm a bit old now. So like, Cade, you know what you're doing. You're a young guy. You know how it works.
I'll be in control of the hashtag. Don't worry.
Yeah, let's sort something out, because I think we're in with a good shot. Because I don't know anyone who loves the Power Rangers like you do. You'd be a really good fit. You're a writer as well, so let's make it happen. Like,
the thing is, as well, I've got another concept that I'm keeping under my hat, just in case, like, anybody would speak to me. And I'm not going to say what it is out loud, in case someone watches this and steals the idea.
Steals it.
Yeah. My Own Worst Enemy by Adam. Like, I was like, that's mine. Full Girl by Cade. He's like, damn it. Every time I talk about an idea.
I send it you to proofread. I'm like, oh, what do you think of this, Marcus?
Yeah. I was like, I gave you the title for Beyond the Page. Was that not enough?
Is that not enough?
I liked as well when you messaged me. You're like, yo, should I call this Who Is? And I was like, look, I just called mine Who Is because I'm lazy. Like, I'll think of a better title for you. I was like, if there's one thing I've learned, nobody watches a video that's called Who Is, so I'll give you a better title.
No, I was doing that, and I was like, right, I knew I wanted to do, like, I've got a list of creators on my phone, and I was like, I know I want to do something about the backstories and getting into comics, because that's something I find really interesting, but I have no idea what to name it or anything. And then you were like, Beyond the Page. I was like, that is perfect.
The thing is, I genuinely felt like, do you know how J. Jonah Jameson is in the Spider-Man movie?
Yes.
And he just says one thing, and people walk off and just do it. I was like, oh shit! I didn't think you'd like that one. I don't know why. I was just like, does it sound a bit too, like? High school. Like,
as soon as you said it, I was
now.
like, oh, yes. Sorry?
There's another. I was saying I like it now. Like, it's great. Like, I was just like, I remember in the message I literally said, just off the top of my head, Beyond the Page, and you're like, thanks. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought we were gonna get it. I thought we were gonna do a bit more, but
no, I swear, you're like. Must be a mind reader or something, because I had like ideas for it, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And then when I was talking to you the other day, and I'm like, and you were saying like, oh, I've put your name as Cade Comics, and I was like, I was literally thinking of changing my name to that. Like, how did you know this, Marcus?
Legit, like, I'm gonna have to try to see if I can get a third one. I don't know what it's gonna be on, but I'm gonna get a third one for it. I'm gonna freak you out that much that you just like, hey, you can read minds. And then definitely go to Ross Ritchie. Like, look, this dude can read minds, and he's got a great idea for a book. Like, story sells itself. If you guys could have a superpower, though, what would you have? Like, I changed my answer recently, so I want to know if your guys' has stayed the same from childhood.
Time travel, because there's so many different uses for that. I mean, if I could just skip back and, like, you know, when you make a mistake on your computer and you just press Control Z and undo it. Like, I need that for my life.
Like when you're watching porn, not in incognito mode, you know that your adverts are going to be tailored towards that, and it's like,
oh god, yeah, just anything. So I would love that. I'd like undo mistakes, and I would love to be able to go back and see some, like, go back to a gig for someone who's died and is no longer, like, you've never had the opportunity to see them because they were way before your time or anything like that. That'd be cool. So time travel would suit me to them.
Yeah,
it's not a lot
you
to
back
ask.
to the future, Eat?
I was going to ask that. I was like, how?
Because I'm a mind reader.
Well,
there's two
time travel rules.
Like, you go and see
like,
yourself Back to the Future style, or you're in your own body. It's like, which one?
Oh, is it bad that I meant, would you go back and bet on games that you... I was not thinking anything for myself. I was like, would you not say yourself? Would you not biff it up?
Yeah,
like I'm evil at heart. Like,
well, you couldn't, because I think you could only ever do what you already did. Because that's my theory on time travel: is everything already happened. Because I love Lost, and that was how time travel worked on Lost. So,
yeah,
spoiler alert.
I love Lost up until season 3. I hate Daniel Faraday.
Oof.
Which one was he?
He's the guy from Saving Private Ryan.
The scientist.
The scientist.
Oh yeah.
He's
that season was
Saving Private Ryan.
I don't give Lost a lot of credit, if I'm honest, but season 3 was affected by the writer's strike, and I watched it back recently, and you can tell that they didn't have a lot of scripts. They were just like, they're still being held hostage. It's like, it's been 12 episodes of them being held hostage. Like, just escape. Yeah. Like Prison Break. They break out of Prison Break quicker than normal.
Oh, Prison Break, man. I remember watching season 5 of that a couple of years ago, and it's like, how do you get a season 5 of a show? Like, I don't want to spoil Prison Break for anyone who's watching, but like, how do you get a season 5 after season 4? Like, how does that make any sense?
Yeah, well, see, like with Prison Break, I liked what they did, because Prison Break season 1, they break out of prison. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
and then season 2 is basically like The Fugitive, and that was quite cool. So
season
they changed it up a bit.
Prison Break. Oh, so good.
But was it season 3? They go back to prison. It was the prison that's run by all the
one.
Season 3 is, but it's only 13 episodes. It's half 12. Yeah, it's half a season.
But it did it again where they were back in a prison, and it was like a super hardcore prison where it was like the guards don't even go in because they'll get murdered. So, and that was cool because they were back in prison. It was Prison Break. It had the dude from The Wire in it, and it was awesome. And then season 4, it just started to get ridiculous. I don't know how far I got with it, but
there was some twists.
Was there 5 seasons of it?
The 5th one came out in 2018, and it was. I don't want to spoil it, but after season 4, something happens, and you're like, okay, show's ended, right, cool. And then season 5, they were like, 2018, season 5's coming out after like 8 years or something.
Oh, I know what happened. It's because they were on the was it
Flash.
The Flash, the TV show,
and
they got
what's he called?
Have you ever seen Dominic Purcell with hair?
I've seen Blade.
No, he is sexy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that is a guy that when he's bald, he just looks angry. But he had hair, and I was like, that's a good-looking dude. Like, I'm not one of them that's like, oh, you can't say another dude's good looking. That's just, I'm like, no, if a dude's good looking, there's no point me denying it. Like, he's a good looking dude. That's also really take away from Prison Break for some reason.
Just sat looking at Dominic Purcell the whole time, like, oh god, I hope he gets out of prison.
I hope he stays in and I go in prison.
Oh.
That's season 6. I go in prison and they have to escape before I get to them. I've dropped my soap, guys. What more do you want?
Season 6, Marcus has gone to Charlie Adler and he's like, what does Robert Kirkman eat? And then they put him in prison for that.
Yeah, no creators coming on the show after this, I think. But Yeah, what power are you having, Cade?
Yeah, sorry,
God,
that was
yeah.
a derailment.
Just a
Sorry.
quick
No,
shout
no,
out
no.
to Omnination Comics as well. He said woof woof. I really want to get him on an MDC as well. He's so hyped. Like,
You introduced me to Omnination. I absolutely love his videos because you introduced me to him, and like I was watching his videos and I was like, yeah, these are great.
yeah, I want him to like really bring out a lot more videos because
Yeah.
it's always a good when something from him pops up in my notifications. Like, it's a good day. I'm going to have a good day today. He always cheers me up. Like he's just got such an infectious energy. So yeah, your superpower, Cade. Let's keep interrupting.
Can I have one power, or can I be like, I'd have the powers of this one person? So, like, can I say I'd have the powers of invincible and I'm able to fly and I've got super strength, or does it have to be just one thing?
Just one thing.
Just one thing.
Yeah,
easy.
else you'd be the century, wouldn't you? And it's just
exactly. I quite like time travel, Adam, but when I was growing up, it was always invisibility. I quite like, because I like the idea of just like, when I was younger, I used to go into game a lot. You remember, like back in the day, I'd have like Xbox 360. I'd be like, if I was invisible, I could just grab that and just run out. And
so you just steal.
Yeah, I'd be invisible and steal. That'd be my power, stealing.
I'd rather have teleportation if I'm going to be a thief. Because then if I get caught being invisible, you're still caught. Like if they lock the doors, you're done for. Teleportation, I'd be like, fuck you guys, this is mine now. I'd want them to know it's me because they're never gonna get me. Like if I'd be one of them dumb criminals that's always just like, what the fuck is going on in my street? I'd be a dumb criminal that's always like, it's me, Maddogg. And it's like, stop saying your name, stop incriminating yourself.
You'd have some good monologues, would you?
Yeah,
like
I've already penned them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always used to want time travel because you could technically teleport.
Yeah.
Because you're traveling through space and time, so it's kind of 2 for 1 without cheating the system. Like it's part of the power. But now, genuinely, I was driving back from my mum and dad's with Shadow Cat in the car because she's real, and Boys to Men's End of the Road was on, which is my favourite song of all time. And I got into a debate with someone at work once because they were like, what's your favourite song, Marcus? And I was like, Boys to Men, End of the Road, like without question. And they laughed and I went, okay then, how do you improve that song? There's no way you can improve it, it's perfect. But I was like, you know what? It always makes me a bit sad that I can never sing all the voices at the same time. So I would have a superpower so that I can have more than one voice at a time, just so I can sing that song.
Yes.
Rather than having to choose who I have to be each time.
Wow. You could be like a one-man a cappella group.
Exactly. As well, I could freak people out with that.
Well, we already know that you've got... We know you're already a mind reader, so that's one power done.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Would I have to give that up?
Oh, this is the thing. I think I'd probably just have like Spider-Man's power, so either web shooting or climbing a wall, whatever. Like I'd rather.
I thought you meant people die around you.
Yeah, I'd have Spider-Man's power of death.
Just bad luck. But yeah, so is Spider-Man probably your favorite superhero then?
Oh, see, this is that I got asked this the other day. So growing up, it was always Batman, and then Spider-Man, took over, and then when I read Invincible, I was like, no, Invincible is my favorite of all time. So it kind of really fluctuates between Spider-Man, Invincible, and Batman. I'd have to say for the most part, Spider-Man though, like definitely.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man as well just is a great go-to one. Like Spider-Man for a lot of people I think Spider-Man and Batman are a lot of people's first superheroes as well because they're so accessible. Although Spider-Man weirdly doesn't have a lot of great starting points. Like I'm trying to know where to start Spider-Man. I'm like, there's Ultimate Spider-Man and
you started with Ultimate Spider-Man, didn't you?
That was like my first ever comic that I brought. Superman Batman was the first that I sort of accidentally read. Like when I was on a dodgy site in high school and I got my account blocked. Before I knew that piracy was bad as well, by the way, guys. I have to say that. But yeah, I think for me, I'm more Daredevil now. Daredevil's
Okay.
I just think consistently, I can't think. People might disagree with me. That's fair enough. I can't think of another character besides Daredevil that's had more great runs. Like great as well, not just readable. Great. Like you've got Miller, you've got Bendis, you've got Brubaker, you've got Mark fucking Wade, you've got Zdarsky at the minute. I've heard Charles Soule's great, and then apparently like Andicenti's run's great. Like consistently, he has the best wealth of stories for me personally. So I think if I'm talking favorite superhero, it's Daredevil, but just because of sheer quantity.
Yeah.
See, I haven't read any Daredevil runs apart from the Mark fucking Wade run. There we go. I got his name right this time. And I really want to do a read through. I've got nearly every omnibus, and I'm still missing out on Brubaker Volume 1. And I feel like I can't start till I've got that one. Because, I need a clean
good
read
one
through.
as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've never read a book by Brubaker that I didn't like.
Yeah.
So I'm so like hyped for it, but it's just going for stupid money. And like, I'm hoping. I think it was number 10 on Omar's top 20 like wanted reprints list for Marvel. And I don't know if you've seen the announcements he's been doing recently. I think we're on probably about 7 out of the top 10 have been solicited for reprints now.
Yeah, that's decent.
So,
already.
and the 3 that are left, I think 2 of them I really want, because one's Immortal Iron Fist and the other one's Brubaker. And I'm like, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really want to do my Daredevil marathon at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll probably do it alongside you as well. I just want to say hi to Off My Shelves. Thank you for joining us. I'm trying my best to keep track of the comments, but I always just have too good of a time talking to the people I'm with. So I apologize for that. But yeah, I'm so proud of him for getting that Dark Horse video out, because I know how long he's been working on it. So if any of you haven't watched it, watch the stream and then watch that video.
Such a great video. I was watching that and I was like, he did his I don't know how recent it was, but I watched it the other day, his overview of Kill or Be Killed, and it was the deluxe edition. Such a good video. It's only like 5 minutes, but it was like I was sat watching it, and everything he had to say about it I really enjoyed. But that Dark Horse video, damn, that was it. That was good.
Yeah. That was some effort getting that video together as well. Like massive props to him. He's a hard-working YouTuber. That one, great channel.
I can only speak from my perspective, but if he had to chase everybody as much as he had to chase me, because I'm just so useless when people ask me to do stuff, he must have been like around the clock. I imagine other people were probably more helpful. It's just I kept getting sidetracked and this and that, and I wanted it to look right. I didn't want to just do it through my webcam. So the amount of work that went into that, I'm just glad it's here now. Like,
yeah, don't feel too bad, because I mean, I was really late with my submission as well. I think we were like the last 2 to submit, and it figures, doesn't it? Like, it's just it's us again. But yeah, it was a great video. I was really interested to see what everyone else would pick and just how much of it would be Hellboy, and it wasn't. So that was a good surprise. Like, there was some really cool stuff in there. So go check it out.
I really loved him for the love of comics. His section in it as well. I like that he had to cut it down for about 20 minutes.
I watched the whole video again later, and man, I love his channel. He's just so great to watch. Like, he loves comics. Like, when someone just speaks about something and you can just tell how much they love it. He's that dude. There's nothing more than comics that guy loves. Yeah, great channel.
He has such a soothing voice as well. I just listen. He could talk to me about he could read out the terms and conditions on an Apple update, and I'd be there like that. Just keep talking.
I mean, like, he's from India, and that's English is probably his second language after Indian, I assume, and like, he speaks better English than anyone I've ever seen. Like,
than half of England, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
Just want to give a shout out to Marcelo Ramos, who's in the chat as well. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to catch up on some comments here. Comics vs. the World. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoy what you see after this as well. Is Organic Price Books doing anything for international buyers regarding shipping? I get this question quite a bit. One thing I do want to say is I can't control how much shipping costs for you. And the way JP is, if he could get free shipping internationally, he would. Like, the price he charges for shipping is the price he has to pay for shipping. He doesn't include any extra for like packaging, and it comes very well packaged. So his hands are kind of tied as well. But the way it works is you get an account with FedEx, who the majority of his international packages go through. FedEx, Cade's just like, fuck this shit. No, he'll be back with us in a moment. But yeah, so he has an account with FedEx, and he gets charged based on how many orders he ships. And the more orders he gets, the cheaper overall shipping is internationally. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I get people not wanting to pay too much for shipping. Like, I do understand that. And I've kind of been blessed with the situation that I've got, and I'd never tell anybody that they have to go to a certain place. I just highlight the places that I go to and the reasons why I've gone to them. But yeah, it's one of them. If more international orders start coming through, then there will be an overall reduction to postage. That's why IST. The thing is, what we've got to remember is Organic Price Books started pretty much this year. IST's been around for at least 5-10 years, mate. I don't know. I wasn't really buying a lot of comics before that. So IST's got that cheaper overall shipping price because of the fact that they get more orders at the moment. If Organic Price Books gets more international orders, then the overall shipping goes down. So it is kind of a double-edged sword, but he does charge the exact amount that he has to pay. There's no markup as far as I'm aware in shipping. It's just difficult. And I spoke with him personally. He wants to get a warehouse over here eventually. He wants to get a warehouse in the UK and one in Europe. He's literally in his first year. And I think what he's done so far is fucking amazing. I'm not just saying this as someone who's sponsored by him. Like, if I thought there was something dodgy, I'd say. But what he's done so far is amazing. And I think the situation's going to be different this time next year. At least I hope it will. But it is one of them that there has to be a bit of initial support so that he can get that cheaper international shipping. It's difficult. It's like who has to make the most effort to get it to happen, but it's something that he's always working on. I probably should have just said that, shouldn't I? Like, I've been 100 times shorter. But yeah. Oh, here's a good one from Farhan. Jess Omnidog was speaking with me the other day, and we came up with this idea about you and him doing a show together, and he is very open and excited about it. Not sure. We have been speaking. It was great meeting him for the first time last week because, like, I never knew if he thought, like, maybe I was trying to take the dog part of my name. It's just that was a nickname that I'd always had, so I just brought it to YouTube. So, like, it was great to finally talk to him. Like, most people ask me if you're my dad, like, because I've had that question so many times. We are speaking about it. It's just trying to get it arranged. I think I actually need to reply to him about that. But yeah, it's something that I'd love to just sit and talk with him, because just that little bit of time that we had whilst we were on Mr. Omar's stream, he's just got such a great sense of humor. Like, you just never know what he's going to say next, and he's such a good dude, and he's been doing this. Like, he's built the community. Him and Omar and Riley are sort of the people who broke through in the YouTube collected edition scene that sort of gave people like myself, and I'm sure I speak for all of us, the confidence that, you know, this is something worth pursuing. I'm not sure if that's just me.
No, definitely.
Like, I watch a lot of the live streams with Jess, and like you said, like, everyone assumes he's your dad, but like, for me, like, he is like the dad of everyone. Yeah. Like, he's like,
I don't know what accusation you're saying there.
Well, I don't know. But like, yeah, he's just such a really, really genuine guy, and I love just how he does his channel. Like, I used to I used to not get any sleep at the weekend. I'd be up till about 2 or 3 in the morning, like Farhan, just watching these streams and commenting in the chat. It's a good time. Massive props to Jess and what he's doing with his channel.
The stream froze a bit for me there. Is everybody still with me?
Yep, still here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
John just asked, can I have a request for Maddogg? Can you show the full design t-shirt you wear now with full screen? Yeah, oh my God, this guy reached out to me. I am so happy about this. Like, this is the God of War. How do I do full screen? I don't really know. Is it that? Yeah, okay, I'll just be 2 seconds. So it's this one right here. It's from Hunger Club Clothing, who are on Instagram. And it was the weirdest. This is the God of War design. I've got another one here. I think, Adam, you'll like this a lot. It's the Crash Bandicoot one.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
So cool. But yeah, he reached out to me on Instagram and he was just like, where are we? There we go. Hey, welcome back. He just reached out to me and he's like, I was just watching Whale Watch and I love it. And I was like, I'll check out. Like, anytime somebody messages me, I always just check out the page in case they've got some cool stuff on there, and just to sort of be polite. And I was like, holy fuck, these t-shirt designs are fucking phenomenal. Like, he's got a Metal Gear Solid one that I need to pick up. And he's got one, a Pyramid Head. And I love this God of War one. And he sent me the Deadpool one as well. He's a great dude, UK-based as well. But do believe he ships I think he does ship internationally, so definitely support them and tell them that I sent you, just so like you'll stay my friend. Because like the other week, sorry, I don't mean to just talk non-stop, but he put something on his Instagram and he was like, what game series do you guys want to see us do in future? And I was like, okay, here's the list. And I think I sent him 20. I was like, Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, Sly Cooper. I want a specific Crash Team Racing one. I want GTA 3, GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas.
Yeah.
And I think in the end, he was just like, okay, thanks. I think I scared him off at that point. What is some of your guys' favourite game series? Just going to say hi to Oxmeat Pete. Thank you for joining us.
Great icon there, by the way.
Yeah, Mr. Jeff.
Yeah. For me, I'm a big fan of Resident Evil. I say that knowing that half the game's terrible. I did a marathon last year where I went from 1 to like 7. I haven't played 8 yet. I'm waiting for it to get cheap because I'm cheap. So yeah, 5 and 6 were a struggle, real struggle. But I do love the franchise, even the bad stuff, because it's so bad it's kind of almost endearing.
Yeah, like a parody of itself.
Yeah, it's so bad. So yeah, I'm a big Resi fan. So that's probably my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I've growing up, my dad had a PlayStation 2. And it was the big, chunky PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone had that, but I had the silver slim one. So I'd always play PlayStation 2 games, and one that I remember playing all the time was Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Yo, Baraf just said that. Like,
yes, Baraf. Yes, I played Prince of Persia: Sands of Time and a bit of Enemy Within as well, but Prince of Persia: Sands of Time was always the one for me. And then kind of a bit later, when I had an Xbox, was like the Arkham games I really enjoyed. I remember when I was doing my GCSEs, and if anyone's watching this that I know in real life, don't like have a go at me for this, but when I was doing my GCSEs, I had an exam in the morning and in the afternoon. So I'd go to school, do my exam in the morning, come home and have like an hour, 2 hours where I should really be revising for my exam in the afternoon. But I was like, you know what? I need to get these Riddler trophies on Arkham Asylum.
Fucking trophies.
So I'd do that. But the Arkham games I really like.
Yeah, and I'm excited for that Suicide Squad game that Rocksteady's doing next year. But I want to see some gameplay before I really get behind it. Like anybody can make a really good cinematic trailer. Like DC. Do you remember the cinematic trailer for DC Universe Online, where it was just a full-on
Yeah.
war, and then you
That
play
was
the game,
incredible.
and it's like in 240p, like 1 frame an hour. Like,
I did.
God.
I bought a PS3 so that I could play that game.
Mm.
Well, not really, but like it was one of the big factors where I was like, oh, I'll get a PS3, I can play that. It's really not very good. But that trailer,
Yeah, that trailer,
it
still holds up today.
yeah.
Like, but GTA 4 was the game that got me a PS4. It was when that was the last console that I needed from my mum and dad, because then after that I was working full time, and it kind of almost takes the shine out of getting a console when it's like it's not a Christmas present. Do you know what I mean? It's not an event getting a console. It's like I've worked 40 hours for this now. Yeah. It's just not the same. But yeah, I remember I saw the trailer for GTA 4. I think it was the second trailer, and I showed it to my dad, and I was like, Dad, I need a PS3 for this. And he was like, he watched it, it's like, yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah. What consoles have you guys got at the minute?
I've got a PS4 and I do have an Xbox One, but I nearly never use it. Like I'm just, it's literally gathering dust. Yeah. All I do is dust it. I don't ever turn it on. So the only thing I would ever turn it on for was if I feel like playing Halo again for a little bit, and then I'd probably, give it a go. But yeah, I'd PS4 for me mainly.
Yeah.
About you?
I a bit embarrassing. I don't have anything at the moment, and that is because I had, like I say, I had a PS2 growing up. Then I got the 360 when I don't remember when that was released, but I got the Xbox 360 as a bundle with something, and I had that for ages and ages and ages, and then it got red rings. I don't know if any of you have ever had that.
No, because I was PS3, but in high school, like I knew a guy who took a day. He had a sick day because his Xbox got a red ring.
Oh no!
I don't know if he was just upset or he thought he could fix it then. And
thing is, so
we just had to mourn it like a bereavement. It was like a death in the family. Red ring.
It did that after I'd had it for about 6 years, and like I wasn't even playing a game when it did it. I was watching Blade Runner, the original Harrison Ford one. I was watching Blade Runner, and I got halfway through it, and it red ringed, and I was like panicked. And then I was like, and then I like didn't watch Blade Runner for ages after that. But it's beyond the point. But then
maybe the film made your Xbox realize that it was a machine, and like it might have been very meta.
It was the director's cut, so maybe it was, yeah.
But yeah, has anybody seen The Suicide Squad yet? I went watch it yesterday.
Yes, I have. What do you think to it, Marcus?
6 out of 10. If I'm being honest, I think if I hadn't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, it would have been higher. But I just felt like it. I think I said this to Adam as well. I was like, obviously it's James Gunn. I found it ironic because the first Suicide Squad was changed to try and be Guardians of the Galaxy. And then when that didn't work, they were like, well, shall we get the guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy? I felt it was enjoyable. It's just, I remember when I was watching, I keep calling it Shazam to annoy people, but like you'll be surprised how much that annoys people, so I do it more. But yeah, when I was watching Shazam, I said this would have been a great film if it came out in 2010. And I think Suicide Squad's kind of the same, that if it would have come out 5 years ago, much more praise for it. But with the landscape that we've got at the minute, I think it's DC moving in the right direction. But I don't think I'm going to watch it again, if I'm honest. How about yourself?
So I get what you're saying, yeah. I think they're kind of moving in the right direction, but I think they're relying too heavily on doing what Marvel do, if that makes sense. Like they've got James Gunn in, and he's kind of doing the Marvel format of we get this group of characters, we make them sympathetic, we have funny moments, and I found it much funnier than the 2016 version. I liked it more than the 2016 version because that was a pile of dog shit. I'll be honest with you.
It's like saying I That's like saying, "Oh, I prefer just getting a hug than being stabbed." Like, yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Common sense.
Very moot
Like,
point. But
Spoken like
I
a man
think,
who's never been stabbed. Like,
I'm from Stoke. You just get it on your first day of school.
yeah.
We don't get egged on our birthdays. We got stabbed.
Oh God. But I think DC, I think especially with the recent films, like DC's just all over the place. It doesn't know what to do. You've got Shazam, which is kind of the first one that did the first kind of Marvel thing. You know, you have him being a bit like an Ant-Man type, and then you've still got films like Snyder Cut and stuff, which are like, no, dark and brooding. That's the DC way. And like, I don't really know, but like the James Gunn cut, I liked it, but I just quite like James Gunn. It reminded me, I think it reminded me a bit more of Super, the Rainn Wilson film. I don't know if either of you've seen that. It reminded me a bit more of that than it did sort of Guardians, but that was just because it was a bit more like brutal and a bit more kind of like didn't have to hold back like Marvel does.
I just felt like as well, and this isn't me knocking James Gunn at all, because I like his films, but the writing felt like when you tell a kid they can swear for the first time.
Yes.
So they put it in every sentence. And like, I don't care. Say fucking shit as much as you want, but if it feels like you're literally just getting people to say it to show that you can say it, it kind of loses its impact. So that's the way that I sort of saw it. But I am more excited for the Batman than the entirety of MCU Phase 4.
Ooh, okay.
Even Spider-Man 3. More excited for the Batman.
I'm excited for the Batman.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Batman, but if we have to see Thomas and Martha Wayne die again, I'm leaving the cinema. If I have to see those pearls fall to the ground in slow motion again, then I'm leaving.
It's Matt Reeves we trust. Like, I recently rewatched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
So good. So
he knows what to tell you, and I think he's kind of going to approach it like, look, it's Batman in year 2, and I wouldn't be surprised if it literally starts with him as Batman, no explanation. Like,
I hope so.
I think everybody knows that we know Batman's origin story. Just have a scene of him walking past a picture of his family, and you know who he is, so we don't need to see it. But that film is either got the potential to break my heart or change everything for me when it comes to DC films.
Yeah, me too. 100%. I remember I remember the trailer coming out and something in the way of the Nirvana song that was in it. I must have listened to that, no joke, 10 times on repeat that day that trailer came out. And I've just listened to it nonstop since then. And just like that film, I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's good.
It has to be done too. Like, they can't get... You can't give somebody something on a like the fact that I'm okay with Robert Pattinson being Batman was the real test. Yeah, the Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, is that what they call it over at Weekly Planet?
Yeah.
I always forget what they call it. But how about you, Adam? What's like the comic? It can even be an actual series, but you don't really get told as much in advance. But what's like the comic property that you're probably looking forward to most that's been announced?
It's probably that, and I'm not just saying that because we were just talking about it, but like for me, with all the Marvel stuff, like I checked out after Endgame. I was a bit kind of like take it or leave it with everything they've announced after Endgame because it felt like a bit of an ending. And I knew there was more coming. Obviously, they're not going to stop the Disney money machine, but I wasn't excited for anything. WandaVision helped pique my interest again. I kind of get on board with the shows on Disney Plus. So I've been watching those, but I'm still not like hyped for anything.
Yeah.
And with DC, on the DC side, I'm just like, I'm so done with DC. Like, I'm really, even people have been loving Suicide Squad. I don't care. Like, I've not had the urge to go and see it at all. So for me, though, the Batman, it's meant to be kind of like more standalone, and that excites me because I don't like any of the stuff that it could connect to. So for me, that's a massive win. Like, that's a big plus in its favor, where just please don't try and link it to anything. Like, please don't do what all the fanboys are probably saying, like, oh, make it so that the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is the Joker. Like no, just don't. Like, just keep it a good Batman. And I'm excited for that one. And I'm like you, I'm kind of like, it could be exactly what I want, or it could break my heart. So we'll see how it goes. I don't really trust DC, but they've accidentally done good Batman films before when they did like the 2 Nolan films, and then the third one that was technically Nolan, but I don't know. Was it? Wasn't very good.
The Bane one.
Yeah, I mean, it had good bits in it, but it wasn't a great film.
I liked it.
I liked it, but I didn't like it. Like, it for me, it was the first 2, and then that one's clearly separate. Like, it's even reflected in the way I own the Blu-rays. I've got like the first 2 in a box set, and the third one just on its own. And for me, that feels really appropriate. I don't know why. There's something about the last one that just doesn't gel quite as well, for me anyway, personally. But like, I think they accidentally made good Batman films there because they didn't really know I think they accidentally hired a great director. They didn't mean to do it, because DC they flip a coin. So exactly. So let's hope they do it again.
I get what you're saying about the end game. Definitely felt like an ending, and I definitely felt that way as well. And I think I enjoyed WandaVision for what it was. Like, I enjoyed that. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like, I have rewatched it since, and it's just like, it's okay, like, but I don't know. And then Loki was kind of what brought me back into it. So now I'm like quite excited for the next phase because of Loki.
The way Loki ended definitely got me excited again for like what they could do next, but I'm still not fully bought in. Like, we'll see what happens, but
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if did you watch all of Loki yet, Marcus? I know.
Nah, I dropped off, and I know I'm in the minority with this one. It's just, I think the Marvel TV shows, I'm kind of the opposite of most people. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was the most entertaining show that they've done so far. Might not be the best written or the best acting, but in terms of entertainment, there was stuff in it happening. Whereas I feel like with WandaVision and Loki, they think if they just have long scenes of people sat across from a table and talking to each other, that they're being dramatic. And it's like, but you're not saying, like, with Loki, he's much more interesting in a situation where he's not the main character to me. Like, even when I read Loki Agent of Asgard, it's kind of like, I was saying this, that, do you know in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like, my favorite character's Boyle. I find him fucking hilarious. Boyle or Terry Crews are fucking hilarious. But a standalone show of them would be fucking awful. Because I just wouldn't like it. I think Loki's the same. When he's working alongside Thor and you don't know if he's deceiving them, or like, they kind of took away the one thing that Loki had, which is deception. Yeah. To me, at least. I didn't feel like he was Loki. He was just a secret agent played by Tom Hiddleston. For me, I'm glad people are enjoying it. I just didn't.
I enjoyed the later bits more than the whole show. Like,
yes,
and the way it ended was definitely an exciting prospect. Rather than it being like a great show or anything, I'm just excited about the thing that they ended on because of what it means for going forward. Obviously, it's getting a season 2, but it also could affect like the MCU as a whole, I guess. We'll see what happens.
What Marvel used to do to get you excited for the films was have 2 minutes at the end of the films. Now they make a 6-episode series to get you excited for a film. Like, I don't know. I feel, even with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I don't know if I only really liked it because it had George St. Pierre in it. And I just like seeing that guy doing well. Because he was like one of my favourite fighters when he was fighting. But if there would have just been a scene in the next Avengers film where it's like, hey, I've got the shield, I'd be like, yeah, okay, he's Captain America now. It's fine. Like, I don't know if that's just me, but yeah, Adam's just like, no, I can't
Yeah,
accept
Adam's
that.
had enough. He's had enough of this.
I've had enough of your trash in Lost and WandaVision.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed. I think of the three, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was the one I enjoyed the least, but that was just because I think for me, Falcon and the Winter Soldier it was just like a long film. That was it.
Yeah.
WandaVision, each episode was different. Loki was kind of that, in a sense. Like you can go and watch the Lamentis episode, or you can go and watch the final episode, or a TVA episode, or whatever. But with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it was like, right, you have to watch all of these. You can't just skip to the end or anything like that. And I don't know, I enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed John Walker in that series. What did you think? Because I know a lot of people hated him, but I quite like the character of John Walker. Like I quite enjoyed him.
I think it's a character that you're supposed to hate. So in my case, I love him because they did that right, which is a very difficult thing to do. Like I liked seeing him just, he started off with the best intentions, and he did just want to be the next Captain America. He didn't want. He even said, "I'm not trying to replace Steve. I'm just trying to maintain the legacy."
Yeah,
and
I think the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just really liked seeing how he devolved, if anything.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I think the thing for me was he was a very modern American soldier, and he had won the Medal of Honor 3 times or whatever, and he'd like jumped on a grenade with his helmet 4 times or whatever, and he says that in the Jeep. And he's a very modern American soldier. So for him, he's doing everything what he should be doing to protect his country. Whereas someone like Steve Rogers, who has the actual ideals, and it's like in the first Avenger when he says, "You're not a great soldier, you're a great man." Whereas John Walker is a great soldier.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he, Steve Rogers would never behead someone in the street because he's a great man. But yeah.
World War II was a tough time.
You
never know. He had a gun in the first film. He might have.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I hope that they do come back and do some kind of Dark Avengers or Thunderbolts, which
I'd love that.
Especially because I made a video on them, so hopefully that finally
do well. A good video. That was a good video.
Thank you, man.
I watched that.
I like doing that.
I watched that the evening after I'd seen Black Widow. So it came out perfectly for me.
That was a very forgetful film. I've already forgotten what happened in that film. I feel sorry for that film because if it would have come out 5 years ago, that would have been a banger. But it's come out pretty much during the end of the pandemic, so a lot of people are still not going to cinemas, and obviously it's caused a lawsuit. And we know what happens to Black Widow. There was 0 stakes in that film.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a shame. I don't know if it's going to be one of them if I watch it a couple of years later. Because if I can still watch Iron Man 1 now and enjoy it, even though I know what's going to happen in Endgame. So I don't know if 5 years down the line it might be a different situation. But
yeah, that was the same for me, and I spoke about that in the review that I did for it. And it was the same for me. It was kind of like, why didn't this get released 5 years ago? Before Infinity War or even before Endgame or whatever. But yeah,
SAC makes a good point. The timing is a bit suspect. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And as well, I feel like she doesn't. From the way Scarlett Johansson was talking as the movie was being released, I don't think she wants to be the character anymore. Like, I don't know if I'm going to sound misogynistic and awful, but she was talking about how she didn't like how she was portrayed in Iron Man 2. But how she was portrayed in Iron Man 2 worked to Black Widow's strengths. Like, you might not agree with those strengths, that she uses her sexuality to sort of complete missions where it's necessary, but she's also a great agent. You might not like that about the character, but that is the character. Like that'd be like if I got cast to play Bane, but I'm annoyed that he takes angry drugs. Like, it's the character.
Yeah.
Do you get one? Do I sound like an arsehole for saying that?
I don't think so. Like, I get what you're saying.
Like, that's the character, unfortunately. Whether or not that should be the character is a different argument. But in Iron Man 2, she was portrayed the way that the Black Widow is as a character.
Yeah, so I get what you mean, but this is another example as well. I'm really not rushing out to go see Black Widow. Like after Endgame, I'm just kind of not excited. And I don't think the stuff people are saying about the film helps either. No, it might be quite good, but yeah, I'm just kind of take it or leave it at the minute. I don't know. I'm take it or leave it with a lot of films at the minute. I don't know. I'm just not that excited about a lot that's on the kind of horizon with the films.
Can I ask you a question though? Do you think it's you're back? Do you think that lack of excitement?
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It happens. Don't worry. Get desktop though.
Yeah, I literally. I looked at my battery and it was like 1%, and I was like panicked, turned my camera off and like went to plug it in, and it died literally as I plugged it in. Sorry about that. I'm back and I should be okay now.
Don't apologize, man. It's fine. But do you think, because it seems like we've all expressed a lack of excitement towards the future, except for the Batman, a lack of excitement towards what's coming. Like The Rock is trying his hardest to hype up Black Adam, and no one cares. Like,
don't care.
I might see a trailer and change my mind, but it's kind of like I'm not bothered about Venom either, because they've kind of taken away the main interesting part about early Venom, which is him versus Spider-Man. Venom now is an interesting character, but we've gone through that journey. Yeah. Just Venom isn't interesting to me. And Carnage, I'd like to see Carnage going up against Tom Holland. That would be fucking terrifying. But my question was going to be, do you think that the lack of excitement is because of a lack of exciting properties, or maybe because of, superhero burnout? Like, it's been nearly 13 years since Iron Man 1, which kicked it all off. So I was wondering where you guys stand on that. Do you think there's a property that could really get you back in, or do you think you're just kind of done with it all a little bit? Heavy question, I know.
Adam, you go first. I've got a lot to say.
Okay, well, so my thoughts are, like, I'm going to get excited if I kind of like, when you start getting into comics and you're like, I love Batman, I love Superman, I'm going to read some Batman comics, I'm going to read some Superman comics, whatever. And then you kind of grow to get into it, and then you start following creators. It's the same, I think, with this. If there was a good creative force on a film, I'd get excited about it. And that's why I'm excited about the Batman as well. Not just because it's Batman, and I do love Batman, I'm a big Batman fan, but I really love Matt Reeves and what he did with the Apes films especially. Thought they were excellent. And now I'm excited about that. And it would be the same if it was like rewind the clock and there's Nolan making the films. I'd be excited about that because I love Nolan. Like, for me, that's what would get me, that's what it would take to get me excited again in any of these films. Like, I don't really subscribe to the actual characters in these films as much anymore. Now that we've had a bit of an ending with Endgame in the Marvel side, I'm not that excited. But if you told me someone cool was working on a film in the MCU, I'd probably get excited. I think that's what it would take me.
Shall I tell you what? Just with you saying that, I just want to. Yeah. Because I think you're thinking the same as me. There's one film that, if it got announced, would be more interesting than everything Marvel and DC is doing. Could you imagine if they were like, we're doing a Hellboy 3 by Guillermo del Toro and Rob Hill?
Yes. Yes, please.
Immediately. Yeah. I think that's what they should do, because I 100% agree with what you're saying. Like, Joker was interesting because he had a director with a vision. Maybe not a vision that everybody liked. That's life at the end of the day. Not everything is made for everybody, but it was somebody that wasn't being told to do something in a certain way. Yeah. So I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head there. Cade, I know you said you've got a lot to talk about, but it's an interesting question that I think out of the MCU properties, I think Doctor Strange and Spider-Man 3 are the most exciting. It's just I'm not as excited for either of them as I was for like Captain America Civil War or Avengers Infinity War or Endgame. That's where I'm coming from. But where are you guys? Adam was shaking his head and Cade verbally said yes. So I think there's a lot.
I was just thinking, like, the only thing I'm excited about in any of the Doctor Strange or the Spider-Man thing is if they're doing the multiverse, and instead of Spider-Man 3 universe, they go to like the Bully Maguire universe. Have you seen those videos on YouTube? Yeah. They're amazing.
I want to see that.
And I'd watch a whole film of like Spider-Man turning up there with Tobey Maguire being Bully Maguire.
Yeah.
Like 90 minutes. I'm in.
I don't want to go on like a Sam Wilson episode 6 4-minute monologue here, but I think you're exactly right with the oversaturation of the superhero, genre. Like you say, we've had almost 13 years now, or 13 years of the superhero thing, and I think that's why anything that's not Marvel fails. The DCEU has kind of failed because it's trying to be Marvel. Things like Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix completely failed because it's not Marvel. Luckily, like Invincible kind of broke through and was different enough to stand on its own. But I get what you're saying with the oversaturation, because it's been 13 years. And I think for a lot of people, Endgame really was an ending. And like I say, for me, I felt like Endgame was an ending. And then Loki got me back into that. I'm excited for Spider-Man 3, but that's only because there's a possibility of a multiverse. I wouldn't be excited for Spider-Man 3 if it was Spider-Man's going to fight, the Scorpion, the Vulture, Mysterio, the Sinister Six. I'd be excited for it because it's Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire might be coming back. That's the one thing that I'm excited for. And like people are saying in the chat, Joker was a good film, but it wasn't a great Joker film. And like it was, SCC's just said it was just Taxi Driver, which is true. For the character of Joker, if you read stuff like The Killing Joke and Under the Red Hood and stuff like that, it's like, it's not really what that character is. It's just someone losing their mind, if that makes sense. It's more a character piece than a Joker piece.
Just to interject real quick, though, if you're going to copy a film, at least copy, a decent film. Like if you said to me we're making the Penguin and we're ripping off Goodfellas, I'd be like, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah,
I do not care if you've literally taken the script and just put Oswald Cobblepot in the driver's seat. I'm still in. Like that's where I would love. You guys want that film though.
A long shot, the long shot of them walking through the kitchen to the show in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but Oswald Cobblepot's just waddling along. I'd love that.
Now I'm just kind of imagining like Joe Pesci as the Penguin, and I'm just like, that is missed opportunity of casting right there. Fuck, man.
You think I'm funny? That's the film.
Am I a clown? Do I amuse you?
Like,
yes.
So I'm good with them sort of basically doing a cosplay version of other films. Like if you did Scarface, but it's the Kingpin. Like I'm good. I'll watch the shit out of that. Like do a Matt Murdock prequel film and rip off Rocky. I'm in. Just make it about his dad's boxing career. I'll watch. Like, but I think the thing is, if it would have been a Joker film, like an actual film about the comic Joker, it's difficult to say if it would have had as much cultural appeal because, again, the most exciting thing about the Joker is the fact that he just wants Batman to kill him. Like that's what he wants Batman to break his one rule. Yeah. So how do you tell an interesting story about the Joker without Batman? Well, you have to tell about how he becomes the Joker. I don't really know what. I don't know. Somebody might have a good idea. That's just me personally.
Go down the Scott Snyder route in New 52 and just say he's like a 500-year-old person, Have Joaquin Phoenix through the ages, old guard style.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting couple of years for. Like, I'm interested to see how the Fantastic Four and the X-Men come into Marvel, but will it be enough? Because, admittedly, we do the vast majority of people only see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, with good reason. He was doing it for about 15 years. Like,
yeah.
So, is that off to a full start? In terms of general popularity, have the Fantastic Four already had too many chances? Like, we know the Fantastic Four are a good team. We know they've got good stories. But the casual viewer, which admittedly is what makes... There's a reason why Avengers Endgame made over $2 billion and comics don't. Because more people watch those films than read comics, unfortunately. So the Fantastic Four, if they already had too many chances, will people be like, I've watched that twice and you haven't done it right. I don't care for the third time, even if it's got Marvel. Like, do you think those titles have chance to really stand on the feet.
I think they've got another shot, just because I feel like there is a way to do it again a bit like in the Marvel method. I think they could probably come up with something that suits the Fantastic Four quite well. Focus it around family, you know, have the kids in it and stuff. Like have it
and
be
Vin Diesel is the Rock.
Wait, but he's Groot. So wait, what?
He was meant to be Black Bolt at one point, because then you've got a character that can only say. There was rumors, and Vin Diesel put out a post where he was at Marvel Studios and he goes, "These guys must think I'm inhuman." And I remember for like a month, everybody was making articles about that, but nothing came from it because the Inhumans failed massively.
Yeah,
but
terrible.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt what you were saying about the Fantastic Four.
It's fine. I think they could do like a very Marvel Disney thing where they present not like the Fantastic Four, but you like the way in is the lens through the kids. That like you're almost like your protagonists or whatever, like, and yeah, there's like a whole new angle there with the family. But I don't know what way they'll do it, but if I know that it's on the cards and the X-Men is, but yeah, that's the way I'd do the Fantastic Four if I was Disney.
Yeah, I think like you say, Marcus, like Hugh Jackman is the only one and you can really see as Wolverine. I think if they were to introduce X-Men and Wolverine into the MCU, it'd be more of an X-23 than Logan. I think, and I think that's just the Marvel kind of method, because like with Thor 4, you have Jane Foster picking up Mjolnir. So I think if they were to introduce Wolverine, it could be X-23, and you could just leave Logan like out there. I don't know.
I'd be interested to see them do an X-Men film without, like, X-Men First Class was the closest we got to this, but without needing Wolverine for it to be successful. Like, you know, the X-Men existed for about, okay, they weren't that successful until Uncanny X-Men, but they did exist without Wolverine. It's just they became who we know them as with Wolverine. So it might be interesting for the first film to just do the core 5 with Professor Xavier, rather than introducing every mutant and opening the door wide open. Just, you know, I think that could be intriguing. I don't know how you'd do it to a point where it seems separate from First Class. And First Class, as I'm getting older, I think that is my favourite X-Men film. Like, the older I get, I'm like, that was fucking top tier.
It was great.
Yeah, it's the best one.
Although Logan, do you count Logan as... Can I ask you guys this? Because I've got a little bit of OCD when I'm collecting. How in the fuck do you guys put the X-Men films on your shelf?
You don't.
Get a box set.
Yeah.
No, just make do with streaming, and then you don't have to look at it, because no one wants to see what order you need to watch those films in. I don't know. I don't know how I'd watch them.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a mate who only organizes all of his films by alphabetical. So anytime I go around, well, it is. But anytime I go around to his house, I take the piss, because he has a shelf. So like A through B. So he has Batman Begins up in this shelf, and then he has Dark Knight Rises all the way below, like after 20, 30 films. And it's like, okay, I get you're doing the alphabetical thing, but they're like, keep them together. Yeah. That's a trilogy.
Yeah, that's where I draw the line. Like, it goes Batman Begins, Dark Knight. Well, actually, it goes Batman Returns, Batman Forever. I that's something that I've got in chronology, but X-Men's chronology confuses me. So it's like, does Logan go in L? Does it go with the X-Men's? Like, because it's technically not an X-Men film; it's a Logan film.
It can stand on its own.
Yeah, because if I put Logan with the X-Men films, does Deadpool then need to go in the X-Men section? Now you know my problem, guys.
Yeah.
But I've had a great idea there. Doing like an adaptation of Marvels. Do you know the one where it's about from the perspective of the journalist? I think I read that cool. 3 months ago.
That'd be cool, but then how would you do Human Torch in that? Would you do the, Johnny Storm Human Torch, or would you do the Vision's body robot version of Human Torch?
Both, because that was in a flashback scene in Iron Man 2, so it's canonical already.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
So I just do both and bluff it.
I really enjoyed Marvels.
Yeah, that was a good book.
You did
I think it's going to be one. Pardon, say?
You did a review for Marvels, didn't you?
Yeah, that was the one where I realised I didn't plug my microphone into my camera.
Oh yeah.
I had to do it. Adam must have hated me that week because I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh my god, I've done that, and I can't be bothered to film it all again. I was filming for 2 hours and the microphone wasn't even plugged in. But yeah, I think I would watch that because it's like I haven't watched What If yet. I don't know if any of you guys have.
Not yet.
Is it any good, Cade?
It's okay. I wasn't excited for the Captain Carter episode, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I could honestly take or leave it. It was okay. It was very first Avengers, but Peggy Carter is Steve Rogers. It wasn't different enough for me. So it was okay. It was just kind of like a retelling.
I find that's the problem with What If. It either goes way too batshit crazy, or it just does the same thing with a different character. Like that video that I did, there was one that was called "What If the Punisher became Captain America," and it becomes Captain America, and then goes "Sod this" and becomes the Punisher.
Yeah,
it was just like a 3-day detour. Like,
yeah,
it was just so weird. I was like, why'd you take this concept? He even had the Punisher costume. It wasn't like he was the Punisher dressed as like complete wasted opportunity. It was fun to read though, because that bit I was like, what? You've just done it the same way. But yeah, there was a Spider-Man one coming up, and they're like, what if he was the Sorcerer Supreme? I've seen that advertised.
Yeah, it is, but it's actually the Hot Toys. They've released a Hot Toys figure of Spider-Man, but he's called Zombie Hunter. So I don't know if he's going to be in the zombie episode or if it'll be a Spider-Man centric episode. So, but he's got
They've been teasing the zombies for a while. I want the Marvel's Omnibus to get a reprint. That's one that I really want hands on. But Kirkman kind of burnt that bridge with Marvel, didn't he? It sounds like they treated him pretty unfairly. There's always 3 sides to a story, so I'm not really going to weigh in on it. That's a book I'm surprised hasn't been reprinted. But I just don't know. I had a question that immediately just left my head. So,
well, I've got a question, and this one comes from our friends over at Comic Airwaves. I thought this might be fun to throw it to you guys, actually. So, every month they do Comic Airwaves, and they do a segment called The Question. And this month's question for the next Comic Airwaves is, who would win in a fight, Daredevil or Nightwing? So I thought that might be fun for us to have a go at. Go on, what's your guys? Who would you choose?
Am I there?
You mean, are you in one of their corners?
No, can I come in and be like, I'll fuck both of you up?
I mean, you could. So in with the question, who would win in a fight, Daredevil or Nightwing? The answer is Marcus Maddogg.
Yeah. You're welcome, Scott.
If you want it.
No, they team up, kill me, and then be best friends as a result. I think who wants to go first? Because I think I've got a concrete answer.
You go first, Marcus.
I'm just going to turn the light on. I'm going Daredevil because that guy's been through a lot of fucking beatings, and I'm not saying that Nightwing hasn't. I think a lot of what I'm going to say are strengths for Daredevil also do apply to Nightwing. I just think they apply more to Daredevil. Daredevil has the shit beat out of him on an issue-by-issue basis. He is, at his head cracked in by Kingpin. He's been shot by Bullseye. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas Nightwing, he got shot once and Batman disowned him. Like, fact. Batman didn't have the belief that he could take up the mantle during Nightfall. And Batman is somebody that normally tends to be right. So for me, I love Nightwing, and I like Nightwing because he's a bit raw, because it feels like he's not the finished article. But Daredevil will always... You can't keep him down. It's really difficult. Whereas the only thing that I'd give the advantage to is I think maybe Dick Grayson would have better stamina as a former acrobat, because he's used to doing long shows. So maybe if he could tie a Daredevil... It depends if we're saying fight to the death or like a 5-round UFC fight. Because the only advantage I see Nightwing having, besides gadgets, is wearing Daredevil down, like just, running away from him for long enough and then kind of Homer Simpson him and just, one punch when he's knackered. Yeah. But I'm going Daredevil.
Oh, I'm gonna go Nightwing. See, I'd go Nightwing, but only because, like you say, he's the former trapeze artist, so he could wear Daredevil down. And maybe this is just because I haven't read as much Daredevil as you have, but he could wear Daredevil down. He could also implement his acrobatics. Daredevil, yeah, he can hear where Nightwing is, but if he's constantly swinging over on this TV antenna, then he's on this building, then he's on this building. He can get the jump on him and kind of do what Frank Castle did, tie him up, and then the only way to beat him is to either shoot him and break his one rule or to not do that.
If Daredevil has a girlfriend, all you need to do is kill his girlfriend. So that's his actual weakness. Is he in a relationship or not? Because he has fucking awful luck when it comes to women. He's worse than I used to be. I agree with you though, with him being an acrobat and being able to traverse, but Daredevil, maybe not to the same level. He can swing around pretty well, especially for a blind guy.
Yeah.
It depends if Nightwing knows he's blind. Yeah, he's fucked because he'll just fuck with his senses. I don't know. Where are you standing on it, Adam?
Well, for me, you've got one hand, you've got Nightwing. If it's anything like the meme, he's been slapped around by Batman enough that he's pretty tough. But Daredevil is essentially just Nightwing with powers. And yeah, he's blind, but he's not really, though, is he? He's not really blind. Yeah, he can't tell what color suit Nightwing's in. Oh, is it New 52 Nightwing or is it normal Nightwing? I don't know. Oh, but other than that, he's got Nightwing sus. Nightwing's not going to know he's blind. So I think Nightwing will have the advantage because he's got the extra sensory stuff going on. So he's just as acrobatic because he's swinging over rooftops all day and night. He's been doing it since he was a kid. So for me, yeah, Daredevil every time because he's Nightwing, but with powers.
If Daredevil beats Nightwing, though, does he then have to have the final boss of Batman?
Well, that's a different question.
Yeah, I was going to say Batman would win that 100%.
Yeah,
for me at least.
Yeah.
With enough prep time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go Nightwing. No, Daredevil.
I think it's a fact the fans need to see. That's what we always say in UFC. We just constantly, no matter, just say two names and go, oh, it's a fight the fans need to see. There's another discount code for anybody who wants it. I'm not sure if that's the same one that I posted last time, though, so bear with me, guys. But yeah, it's an interesting question. I also love the show that Scott does over there.
Yeah.
Scott and Phil. Mr. Phil.
I love Off My Shelves last comment. Have you seen that?
I know bear with me a sec.
The colours.
I mean,
that's true.
What more can you say? End of.
Does Daredevil have his yellow costume, though? I liked in the thumbnail for the Dark Horse video, Phil genuinely looks annoyed. like all of us are there with a book. Phil's there like he hasn't even got a book in his hand. He's like, you've asked me to do this, have you?
Well, you know why he's not got a book in his hand. That was very clear from the video. He doesn't have any Dark Horse books.
No, I know. It's just literally in the thumbnail. He looks annoyed.
I would be like, I don't know, asking me what Well, I've got Dark Horse books. It'd be like asking me what Dark Horse books I've got if I didn't own any Dark Horse books. It'd be exactly like that.
Or it'd be like if you and Phil switched bodies, so you woke up in his collection and then got asked that same question.
Please don't. I'm going to have nightmares now. Waking up without my absolute Sandmans. Those guys only just read Sandman. They did it on the Nerd Herd this week. And yeah, I was really worried that they would all hate it, but I think they all liked it enough. But Phil definitely liked it the least. And I was messaging him before. Have you read Sandman, Cade? I know you've not, have you, Marcus? It's kind of like your...
Yeah, it's just too big of a series.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I don't know where to jump in with it, and I'm just it's kind of more daunting to me than I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't read it.
It's understanding, but like, take it from me, it's not that daunting. Just start Start with Sandman #1.
I feel like there's mental preparation for it though, because everybody talks about, like, I think it might be the same, and Cade, you might agree or disagree with me on this, but Watchmen's a similar book. I feel like Watchmen, if you haven't read it already, sometimes people have, spoke about it so much that, and whether you like Watchmen or not, I know SEC said he thought it was boring. It's still important to comics and what it did for like Citizen Kane is a film I cannot sit through, but I understand that it meant a lot to cinema.
Exactly, yeah.
And Watchmen's pretty much the same. Like, whether you like it or not, comics might not be the same as they are now without it. So I don't know if you feel that way, Cade, about Watchmen. Do you think it is a bit too daunting in the same way I feel about Sandman?
No, I definitely feel that same way. So I've spoken to people who have read Watchmen, and like I've spoken to people who haven't, and like a lot of people say, yeah, it's one of the best comics ever written because you have this character basically writing a novel inside of the story whilst everything else is going on. And to me, that sounds more daunting than anything. I'm kind of like, I don't want to read that and like try and keep up to date with everything that's going on. And then you have everything that's like Doomsday Clock that follows on from it. It's like, yeah, but I think a lot of the time it's about expectation and living up to that. So many people hype up Watchmen to the point where it's like never ever going to live up to the expectation. So for me, like, I've never read it, but I'm looking forward to reading it. And like I say earlier, like it's a book I've recently picked up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it, and I'm just hoping that it kind of lives up to my expectation. I don't really have any expectation for it in the sense that I'm not expecting it to be this amazing, story that's going to change my life. But a lot of people think it's good, so hopefully I enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it too, because like we were saying this before the stream, like comics are a medium that we're supposed to enjoy, and I feel like sometimes that gets lost a lot of times. Like when we were speaking before the stream started, like when we started our channels, we just wanted to sort of experience that fun in a different way. Like I always say, nobody comes on YouTube to have a bad time. Like, you do this on your own time for free. So nobody's coming here to deliberately have a bad time. Sometimes it's fun ranting about a book if it's so dumb. I haven't had that in a while. I kind of want that again. Like, I kind of want to rant about something, but at the same time, YouTube is supposed to be a fun activity, whether you're watching or creating content for it. So even by extension, the comics that we read, I really hope that you guys enjoy it. And even with books that I don't like, but with Watchmen, I hope you have a good time with it, man. I'm looking forward to your review of it.
I'm really interested to see what you think.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'll do. And it's so weird for me because hey,
I just want to say hey to Melanie. Thanks for joining us.
Fine. I don't know about fine. Definitely for Marcus and Adam, but I'm here looking like a bit of a gremlin.
That'd be ridiculous, man.
I've stopped shaving before because nobody notices. Like that I've shaved, so I'm just like, there's no point. But yeah,
what was I saying? Yeah, we mentioned earlier, like before the stream, like having Alan Moore, but so I think it's something I'd enjoy if I read Watchmen. I'm definitely going to review it. I actually like. I don't give a shit. I'm going to ruin my haul. So my August haul, yes, I've picked up Watchmen, and I got the this guy on eBay was selling 2 copies of it, and one of them's got like all the notes and the drawings and everything in the back. And I picked it up because he was selling both of them. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And speaking of Alan Moore, like The Killing Joke was the first comic I ever read.
Yeah.
At age 11. Like, yeah.
Did you enjoy it, or was it a bit too dense?
Okay, so I've only read it that once, and I thought it was okay for what it was. So I'm someone that grew up watching, like I was like 8, 9, and my dad I would watch Predator with him and Die Hard and Terminator and all this stuff. Like I grew up watching Terminator and absolutely loving it, and it was my favorite film, Terminator 1, from the age of about 8 to 15 or whatever.
Till you saw Terminator 2, yeah.
Of course.
Wait, so you watched Terminator 1 before Terminator 2?
Yeah, of course.
I thought that didn't happen anymore because I watched Terminator 2 first because I remember seeing an advert and it was just a good action film. Like it was when it was on Channel 5. So that's so cool. Did you know in Terminator 2 that Arnold's the good guy though?
Yeah. I didn't know that when I watched the first one, but I had the. Did either of you have a PSP?
No.
Oh, you could get I think they were UHD, and it was like the DVDs you get on a PSP. I had Terminator 1, the original Fantastic Four. Yeah. Fantastic Four, and then like a bunch of other stuff. And I'd watched Terminator 1 all the time, and I really enjoyed it. But like going back to Alan Moore, I just Googled, like I was trying to get into comics, and I just Googled best comics. That was it. I Googled best comics to read, and The Killing Joke was the top of a lot of people's lists. And so 10, 11-year-old me, like I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm doing. I have it on the shelf over here, but it's underneath everything, so I'm not going to get it out. But
shame there wasn't a series called Where to Start.
Yeah, exactly. So I got The Killing Joke, and I remember buying it from Waterstones and reading it in the car on the way home. And I read it like all in the car ride home. And we got home, and my dad was like, "Oh, so what do you think? Like, let's have a look at this." And he opens it up, and it's the page where it's the page where Detective Gordon is in the like gimp suit with the like dwarfs. And he opens it up and sees that, and he's like, "Okay."
I can do you one worse than that. I had a worse experience than that with somebody opening a book on the wrong page. Do you remember when Borat was coming out? Borat had a book, and this book was sealed. I'd never seen a normal book sealed until I got into comics. Like comics are sealed all the time. This was a hardback book that was sealed, and I wanted this book because I loved Borat. I thought it was the funniest thing that ever existed when I was like 11, 12. And I got this book and it said for adults only, but this person literally did not care. There must be like a part-timer or something and did not give a shit about the job. And it's like, yeah, this 11-year-old can have this or whatever. So I got it, and my teacher was like, "Oh yeah, I like Borat. Can I have a look?" And literally, I hadn't opened this book or anything. There's a page that you open, and in the Borat film, he talks about how he likes taking pictures of women on the toilet. And there's a photo section of that, and I'm like, I don't know. Oh, it was awful. I swear, everybody knows which page to open books on.
Yeah, I had a similar thing. So I was dog sitting, and I was reading Compendium 3 of Invincible, and I was just reading it, and the dog owner came back, and they were like, "Oh, so hey, how you doing? Like, what you been up to?" And I just said I've been reading this comic, and they opened it up, and it was Battle Beast fighting Thrag, and it was super like violent and bloody. And they opened it up, looked at it, and kind of looked at me and went, "Oh, okay," and like closed it, and I was just like, "Yeah." So yeah, it's not as bad as the Borat story, but still, yeah.
My part-time job, I was a paper boy, and then for the same company. This was when I was like, you were supposed to be like 14 to be a paper boy, but I was like 11, 12 at the time because I just wanted money. And then I delivered a load of leaflets for them. I did some work around the shop. Then I worked at Alton Towers for a bit because if you live in Stoke, that's the only place that hires anyone is Alton Towers. And then I was a cleaner at the hospital for like 5 years. And some of the things I saw in that place. I'll tell you a story. When this stream's over, I'm going to tell you the grossest fucking story of my life. I
Good, I
literally
look
cannot
forward
tell
to
it on YouTube. I'll literally have to make an OnlyFans account to tell you this gross fucking story.
Wait, what do you mean make an OnlyFans? What have I been subscribed to this entire time?
Is it Maddogg with 1G? Because that's the wrong guy. He's got a big dick. That's how you can tell it's not me.
Right.
He was there reading Sandman. I should have known.
Yeah.
He wasn't asking you what you're eating as well. Like, you have to pay extra for me with that. I need money. But yeah, like we're probably going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes or so. But yeah, like I said, I just want to say hats off to you, Cade, because the quality of videos that you're fucking putting out, man. Like me and Adam are always just like talk about how great you're doing, and we've wanted to have you do an MDC and talk with us for a while.
Thanks so much. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I wanted to be on one for ages, so I'm just happy to be here and chat with you both on something that's not just messaging. So it's nice to just sit and talk. But yeah, thank you. Thanks. I always try to do as much as I can for a video within reason. Like I need to sleep, but like I do try and just do as much as I can for a video.
You can
I
tell
dread
as
to
well.
think how long those be on the page take when you're editing in. Like I love the way you use all the stock photos.
Thanks.
Hilarious. Like every little sentence you've got like a stock photo for it, and some of them just crack me up. Like they're great.
Thanks.
I love it. And like I dread to think the editing that goes into it.
Yeah,
I hate editing. So
God, luckily I have like a 4 terabyte hard drive that I had to get for my uni course, and that's pretty much filled up already.
With stock photos.
Yeah. God, like I look at my when you go on Google and it's like you have the things that you've searched before when you type in stock photo, whatever, and like I've got some of them that I'm like, when did I search that?
But yeah, and as well, Adam has got some exciting news about a video that's finally happening in the future, haven't you, Adam?
I do. Wait, which one? It's the OnlyFans one. No, it's the other one.
That one.
Okay, the one, the free one. So yeah, we're finally getting together our buddy read because we both read Harleen, and we're going to be filming a bit of a chat where we'll go over what we both thought about it. I mean, you've done your review, so I kind of know what you think about it in a way.
It'll be nice to talk about it though, and actually, when I script my reviews, it's all this is what I thought. Whereas you might go, "Hey, did you like this bit?" And it's like, "Oh shit, yeah." So I'm really looking forward to it.
I mean, I've got a format that I've been trying to kind of like refine so I'm going to force Marcus to actually score the book in loads of different categories. So that'll be the fun part. So even though I know what you think about it as a whole, what I want to do is get your thoughts on the individual parts, and then we'll see if that kind of stacks up to how you think about it as a whole. So that's my plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. Someone
said this in one of my old reviews that like your comments don't make sense with your scores, and I kind of see it a bit now that I'm like, I hated this, and I also hated the way that this was done, and then I hated this as well. So it's getting an 80%. So the scores might not actually make any sense. Like sometimes I just think I put a number to something because it's kind of like 80% like an 8 out of 10, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like 6 out of 10 is pretty fair. Yeah, 6 out of 10. But then I might break into it and go, yeah, I hated everything about it. There was like 2 scenes I liked. So it'll be fun seeing. I want you to call me out if any bullshit like that happens with me scoring, and just go, your score makes no sense. Yeah, that'll be the only part.
But I don't think anyone's score really makes sense from a surface, but like because there's so many things that go into why you give it the overall score. So that's what I want to like kind of get into when we do this buddy read, and that's kind of why I've made you. I've broken it down so that we score these individual parts like we do, and that's what I think will be interesting because I don't always think that a book is the sum of its parts. Sometimes it's more than the sum of its parts. It's weird. So like I kind of want to do something that explores that a little bit. I always think that's quite cool. So that's the idea. We'll see how it does. It's the first one, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm an awful guinea pig as well. Like, if something can go wrong anyway, I'll find a way to make it go wrong. So just fair warning on that. But yeah, so that's what you've got going on over on your channel in the future, Comic Bound. There's links to both guys in the description down below. But Cade, can you tell us who the next Beyond the Page is on? Can we get an exclusive?
I was going to ask.
Of course. So, be honest with you, I've got a list on my phone. I was thinking Kieran Gillen or Scott Snyder.
Nice.
What are we thinking?
That's a tough choice. I was going to say, hell yeah, Gillen, until you said Scott Snyder.
I think Gillen might be more fun because I feel like he's not known as well.
Yeah, I'm with you there, definitely. And I love Gillen. I've just got done reading his Loki run. I think it'd be interesting to see what you come up with for that one.
Yeah. So it's quite funny because I've done, trying to think now, I think I've done about 6 episodes, and I tried to keep them all kind of connected. So the way I like thought of it was Chip Zdarsky worked with Matt Fraction on Sex Criminals, so I did an episode on them. Kelly Sue DeConnick is married to Matt Fraction, did an episode on her. Now I've done Jason Aaron, who wrote Star Wars. You know, Kieran Gillen also wrote Star Wars. So
true.
Yeah. So I think maybe Kieran Gillen. Well, that's a Maddogg and MDC exclusive.
Exactly. You can put the stamp on it, but the only way that you're going to be able to see that first is if you make sure that you subscribe to both of these guys for all the videos that are coming out in future. We're just going to wrap this up now. I know we kind of just touched on it, but, you know, where can people find you and stuff like that?
Well, you can find me at Comic Bound on YouTube and comic_bound, I think, on Instagram. But you don't want to go look at me. You want to look at this guy's channel here, who's doing the real hard work. So go on, Cade. Where can they find you?
Yeah, so my YouTube is Cade's Comics now, and after conversing with Maddogg and changed my name to Cade's Comics after he's mind read me. So yeah, that's Cade's Comics on YouTube, and on Instagram it's Cade YouTube, but that's just because everything else was taken. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. Like, if anyone wanted to get in contact with me or anything like that, Instagram is pretty much where I tend to hang out most.
Everybody's just saying bye at the moment, so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's, you know, been with us, whether you tuned in at the beginning and you're watching on the replay, whether you're watching entirely on the replay, or you're here at the end with us now live. I just want to say thank you for joining us, guys. 2 hours, let's go for 4. I have to be out in about an hour, but
I mean, I could go for 4.
Me too.
I might just have to leave my own stream at this point.
Leave us to it, man.
Come back to us later.
But yeah, Cade, we'll have to have you back on sometime, because, like I said, the rate that you go, the work ethic that you've got, I really hope that people start to recognize it and see what you bring into the community, because I really like that you're a channel that, and I'm glad I get a chance to say this to you, like, you're a channel that is thinking about what they can bring to the people who watch it rather than what they can take from the community. Right. You know, you're just trying to bring out the best video that you can, and it shows. And you're always trying to improve. There's been so much improvement already, so I'm really excited to.
Thanks, man.
I hope eventually you'll have me on your channel when you reach 100,000 subscribers, and I'm still not able to get 5,000. So,
you're welcome anytime, and both of you welcome anytime. So if ever you've got a video idea or you just want to come on and do a video together anytime. But yeah, thanks, Omni Nation.
You should have everyone on MDC for the anniversary. That's not a bad idea for MDC 10.
That'd be pretty sick.
Oh, like the Forever Red episode of Power Rangers. Dibs on Time Force. But yeah,
again, we need that hashtag.
Yeah. Let's get me a Power Rangers comic series. We can do it, guys. The Maddoggs can do it. Just imagine me announcing that. Like, I don't know.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Ross Ritchie, you probably can't see me, but please just give me a chance to do my Gold Ranger series. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up here. I just want to say thank you for everybody who's tuned in. Thank you to you guys for being here with me as well. It's been a great video. Sorry if I got a bit carried away when I just started rambling. But I've had a great time. Hope everybody has as well. But until next time, whenever that may be, just make sure that you stay safe. Stay reading the best books that you can find. And stay mad, all you dogs. Woof woof. See you at the next
Woof, woof.
video.
Woof, woof.